Well, hello and welcome to this edition of the Lynne Hayes Freeland Show. So this is going to be a fascinating show for a variety of reasons. I want you to stay with me till the entire ending because I have some special news to share with you. But I begin with an old friend of the show and a friend of mine doing big things, Chef Claudy Pierre. We're doing this by Zoom today.
I know. I would love to see you in person, but this is still good. We're still getting to hit the topic. So thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for agreeing to come on today. And folks are used to seeing you and I in the kitchen doing some cooking. And we're going to talk about food and eating and all that kind of stuff a little bit later. But I want to start off talking about Haiti. I want to, it is a place, it is a subject that has kept us riveted for the last few weeks. And you have a personal perspective that I wanted you to share. Your family originates from Haiti. You have relatives there right now today.
Yes. So, I am first generation Haitian. I was born in Brooklyn. I've been in Pittsburgh for about 20 years, but my family still to this day owns property. We live about 10 miles outside of the capital. So this last earthquake didn't hit us as hard. It hit most of the southern part of Haiti more, but we were still very much affected by it. We're still actually recovering from the earthquake over 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. So thank you for asking about the Haitian island and the people of Haiti. We are currently working on multiple projects to really help the infrastructure and not just help Haiti, but the people of Haiti, and really doing things to really uplift them in a time where, I know you've been seeing what has been happening, especially with Texas. People are running away from the Haitian government and things that are happening in Haiti because not only is there natural disaster, there's a lot of political unrest because our president was just assassinated. Mm-hmm. And then I'm gonna be transparent with you, there's a little thing called a pandemic that literally has been devastating. So people running away from the country, just like some of the other countries that are coming to Pittsburgh and other cities. They got to Texas with misinformed. They were misinformed, they were misled, and they have been treated very unfairly and inhumane. Mm-hmm. And, it hurts my heart. Like some of my family who went to Texas, who went back home to Haiti, they are so traumatized by the ways and some of the things that they've seen. Like they need time to just process what they're seeing in person,
So when you see the pictures, you see the images 2 weeks ago coming out of Texas, what was your heart saying to you about the way people were being treated and received or not received?
Well, I think that there's a dichotomy here where you have a lot of people, especially in the American culture, that want to help. They want to help people. They believe in it. But it's just interesting to see the darker skinned people, the people that are coming from islands of Haiti versus other places, how unfairly and inhumane. We're treating them worse than they treat animals, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. And it's just crazy because God forbid it was a pet or something. The culture would be devastated. Mm-hmm. And people are sweeping it under the rug. Literally, Lynn, we spoke one day, there were still thousands of people under the bridge. The very next day, without a blink of an eye, the people were all gone. Mm-hmm. And so that goes to show you that there is a lot of things happening. There's a lot of things we don't get to see. And even some of my friends in government were getting it real time from social media. They were getting, there's a deliberate, intentional way that people are stopping information to coming to people and the wrong information from coming out. So it was pretty sad. Two of my, so we have an organization we work closely with called Haitian American Caucus. We also work closely with Councilwoman Farrah Lewis out of Brooklyn, New York, who was Haitian, who was a close friend of mine for over 30 years. We also have my cousin, Assemblywoman Rodney's B. Short. She's my first cousin. They all went down to Texas and they told us that even when they spoke Creole, I speak Creole fluently. And we're currently working on bringing some families to Pittsburgh. So pray for us, because there's some in Dayton, Ohio. There's some in Philly. They're bringing them up from all over wherever they can to seek asylum. And, we're working on some TPS things. But they said as they tried to speak, the border control were literally saying, don't speak to them. They're not allowed to speak to you. They were threatening them because they were like, last time they started speaking Creole to people in America, they got unruly. We don't want them to become unruly. People seeking asylum from a corrupt government, from devastation of a earthquake, and a pandemic that's just wreaking havoc. And you're telling them not to speak their only tongue, their native tongue, to people who are looking to help them because you don't want them to be unruly. I mean, it's racism, it's classism rearing its ugly head again. And we got to call it, we got to name it. And we have to understand that, there's a lot of things that we need to just be aware of and not think that, because we're going into our houses in the suburbs or in our luxury apartments, that all is well. All is not well. And because we're so close to it, I've been an advocate for a lot of the Haitian people coming into different cities, helping them. I'm a food security kind of guy. So I've been helping them find food and maybe working in the food industry, because it's one of the industries that people can work in, like it's universal, So those are the ways that I've been able to create opportunities for people coming, seeking asylum and looking for work. There's plenty of opportunities for people right now.
So one of the things, and I was fortunate enough to have you on the radio with me
Yes.
a week or so ago. And in the course of that conversation, one of the things you said was something about power when they have power.
Yes.
Describe a day, describe what that's like. I mean, we're talking when they have power, when they can get food. Water, I'm guessing, is at a premium.
Yeah, it's a premium. So what I do want to say is I love to asset frame Haiti. And I speak about it in such a positive, powerful way. These people are resilient. They are awesome. They are strong. They want to work. They're not trying to take someone's job. They want to help. And our motto is l'union fait la force, which means, unity makes strength. Unity makes you strong, right? And so one thing I love is the people are beautiful, but the resources have been, and this is apartheid. This is when you say by design, resources have been stripped and severed from the people. So yes, power. There are people who don't have power every day, all the time.
Let me stop you right there, because we got to take a commercial break.
Okay.
But I want to pick up right there, because when we talk about power, then we're talking about not just lights, we're talking about cell phones, communications, all of that. We have so much to talk about.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, we got so much to talk about. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
All right.